Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going all violets and purples, so that's a hint to the colour palette I'm using, and I'm also adding a metallic, and I promise it's not gold, it's a totally different colour. And today I'm going to use my funnel. I've had so much fun using the funnel by pouring the paint into the funnel and then releasing it underneath onto the canvas. This is a very special shout out to one of my viewers in Australia, Adrienne. I hope you enjoy this creation. I know you're struggling to paint at the moment, and this one is especially for you. And I hope everyone else enjoys it too. So Adrienne, you chose the colour palette for me, or gave me an indication of what you'd really like to see. And today I'm really happy to be doing that. So I've got my canvas prepared, I've painted the edges, I've got my colours mixed up, and I'm going to take you down now so you can see those colours and those consistencies as well. And today is all about the funnel pour. I'll show you how I layer my funnel and how the paint can release from the underneath onto the canvas. And I'll also be giving lots of hints and tips throughout the tutorial as well. I'm so happy to be doing this, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me. So, as always, let's see what we can create. So let me take you down now so you can see some of the colours and the consistencies. And I often get asked about the pouring medium that I currently use. So this is the pouring medium I use. It's Floetrol, but Otrol. So Floetrol's Otrol. That's here in the UK. Slightly thicker than the US version of Floetrol, and totally different to the Australian Floetrol, which is the cell activator. So this is my pouring medium. I've mixed all my paints, 1 part paint, 1 part water, 3 parts pouring medium. I'm going for a base coat. That's the colour for the base coat, and as you can see, I've already prepared my canvas and painted the sides. But these are the colours of my colour palette. Mixed brands including Arteza, Amsterdam and Pebeo. And all the consistencies are exactly the same. So as I stir, you'll see the consistency. It runs off the spatula into the cup and then disappears. And that's exactly the same for all of these colours. So it runs off the spatula into the cup and then disappears. That's the consistency you're looking for. I will list all my colours, all my brands, and all my ratios in the description box, so be sure to expand that for more information. So I've painted my edges, and I'm just placing some of the paint in the middle of the canvas in a puddle. And then I'm going to just slightly stretch that out, and that's how I'm going to start using the funnel to ensure that the funnel paint is dispersed and released underneath this paint that you see. It'll make more sense as we go along, but this is how I wanted to start this creation. And I wanted to start it in the middle, although it's not a circular canvas, it's a rectangular canvas that I will stretch in a circular motion because I want to maintain some of the lines that are created by the funnel. So I'm going to take my funnel and I'm just going to place it in the paint so that funnel touches that canvas surface area. And then I'm going to take one colour at a time and pour some of that paint within the funnel before releasing it onto the canvas. So I'll just finish that colour, and then I'm going to take both hands and I'm going to take the funnel and move it up and down on the canvas. And you'll see here that the paint itself is reducing within the funnel, but dispersing and escaping from the bottom. And that motion there, that up and down, will create rings. So I need some more paint, and I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to take one colour at a time, place the paint inside the funnel, and then I'll lift it up and down to allow that paint to disperse and create some more rings. So here we go. So I'm going to get both hands and I'm just going to slowly raise the funnel up and down, up and down. You'll see the paint reduce in volume within that funnel, and there's going to be more paint escaping from underneath that funnel onto the canvas. And you can see those rings that have already formed. I'm going to place the funnel to one side. I'm actually really happy with this. I'm going to take my torch to pop all the air bubbles that I can see, and I'm going to quickly take you in just so you can see what I can see. I'll give you a close-up before I start stretching this creation out. This is a butane torch, and it's just used to pop those air bubbles. So here you can see those rings that have been created and how some of that paint is already reacting together. And the idea now, that intention, is to open up those rings and open up that pattern and design. I'm just adding a little bit more paint to allow the flow of the paint to move across the canvas. So I'm going to pick the canvas up, and you'll see that I'm swirling that paint around in a circular motion. I'm opening up that design, opening up that pattern, and I'm just doing it slowly. There's no rush. I'm just watching how that pattern opens up, how those lines are expanding that were created using that funnel. The concentration on my face is a picture. I actually look a bit grumpy, but believe me, I'm really not. I'm in that moment of the here and now, in that present moment, just really enjoying my creativity, enjoying seeing how the creation itself is evolving. And yeah, I look grumpy, but I'm happy. So I'm going to add a little bit more paint because I'd like it to act more as a flow extender. And what I mean by that is I don't want the design that I've already got there to roll over on itself. I want more paint on my surface area to help that pattern that's already there expand out without it distorting too much. So I'm just going to add a little bit more paint in those corners. You can see here that I'm putting quite a lot more paint on there. And that's going to really help maintain the patterns that you see. It's going to help maintain that design. But more importantly, it's going to help that design flow across the canvas more easily. I'm just going to take my torch one more time and pop any existing air bubbles before stretching it out even further. This really is a balancing act. It is about maintaining those lines and that pattern, but pushing enough paint over those edges and down the sides to have that continuum, but also bringing the paint back on itself to allow that volume of paint that's on that surface area to stretch out across that full canvas surface area. So I'm just taking my time, stretching it from one corner to another, allowing the paint to go down the sides and then bringing it back on itself. as I said, there's no rush to do this, just take your time. And then when you're happy with the coverage, look at the overall composition, stretch more off if you want to, but I really want to bring that back into the middle, that silver part back into the middle, because that is my focal point. And I'm really happy with how those other lines have opened up. So back onto my stands, use my torch one more time to pop any existing air bubbles. I'll take all the drips off from down the side so it doesn't drag that creation over the edges. And I'm going to take you in now for a close-up of the wet version. Let me take you in, I'm really happy with this. So here we go, this is the close-up of the wet version, and then I will let this dry and I'll take you in for a close-up of the dried version. But I really want you to be able to see some of that pattern that was created and some of those lines that are now opened up fully. And they were created by just purely pushing that funnel up and down, and releasing that paint. So here we go, here's the dry version. Adrienne, I really hope you love this creation as much as I do. Great idea using that purple and violet colour palette, and I hope you didn't mind me by adding a metallic silver in just to help with that contrast. I'm really happy with the end result, and it's a really inviting piece. It's intriguing because when I look at it, it draws me into that middle and it makes me wonder where it goes. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it out if you can. And I hope I get to see you again in the next video. And if there's a colour palette you'd like me to try, then drop that colour palette in the comments below, and I might just use that idea in a future creation. Thank you again so much for all of your support, and I'll see you soon. Have a great week, everyone, and take care. Bye.